welcome back to my channel. If you guys want to see how I make these beautiful Dollar Tree pumpkins, please keep watching. Alright guys, you wouldn't believe that I found all of these items from Dollar Tree. I'll be using all Dollar Tree items except for 3 things, which is paint, glue, and push pins. So here I have some styrofoam circles and long wood sticks to hold the pumpkins in place. And I also have 2 different paints that I got from Home Depot, both in the colors white and gray. They also sell paint at Dollar Tree, but I really wanted that chalky finish, so I decided to go with Home Depot instead. So Dollar Tree has these foam pumpkins, which we'll be using for this project. I already took the green stem that it came with out. I threw it away because we won't need it. Needed to do about 2 or 3 coats of paint so that the orange doesn't show up, and it took about 5 hours to dry. Dollar Tree had a ton of stickers and I was in love with the gold one, so I got 2 packs. And I thought it would be a really cute idea to put 2 different words on each side of the pumpkin. That way I can switch it up if I wanted to. These pumpkins are so customizable, and I'm sure that you'll find so many different ideas whenever you start your projects, but I thought this was really cute. So Dollar Tree had some wire, and I thought it would be a great idea to use this as the stem. That way I can move it in different shapes if I wanted to. So what I did was I just got the length that I wanted and folded the wire in half, and then I cut it. So as I was making the stems, I had so much fun because there's so many options. As you guys seen, I had so many different types of yarn and ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and all I did was just wrap the ribbon and the yarn around. You can do it however you want, and you'll see in this video I have so many different types of stems, and I'm not going to show you guys each and every one, but I'll show you guys how to wrap it around the wire. So after you make your stem, you don't want it to look skinny at the bottom, so it's a good idea to wrap some yarn or ribbon around the base so that way it looks a little more natural. Oh my gosh guys, I think this came out so nice. I'm so in love with it. So this next pumpkin are all items from Dollar Tree as well, except for these push pins. They do sell push pins at Dollar Tree, but they have colorful tips and I didn't want that. So what I'm doing is placing the tip of the yarn on the pumpkin and I'm going to tack it down with the pin. That way it stays in place, and then I'm going to wrap the yarn on each groove of the pumpkin. Then you're going to repeat this step for each line. You want to take the end of the yarn and tack it down with a tack, and then wrap it around and do it over and over again. By the way, guys, excuse the smoke. I was burning incense and I didn't realize the smoke was showing up on camera. Once you're done, it should look like this. I decided to wrap the stem in the white yarn and I think this looks so simplistic and pretty. Guys, isn't this yarn so pretty? I was so shocked that Dollar Tree had so many different yarns. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just measuring the yarn from the top of the pumpkin to the bottom of the pumpkin. And then that first piece of ribbon that I cut, I'm using that as a template to cut all of my ribbons, and I have a lot of them. So because the pumpkins are made of styrofoam, the push pins are a great option to keep the ribbon in place. So what I'm doing is just putting the pins inside of the ribbon so that way the ribbon doesn't move. And because I have so many different types of ribbon, I'm just going to show you guys how I do the first pumpkin with the ribbon, and then I'll show you guys how the rest of the pumpkins with the ribbon looks afterwards. Guys, aren't these pumpkins adorable? Please give this video a like. The video isn't over yet. I saved the best for last, but I'm in love with these pumpkins, and the stems, I made them different, and I just love how you can customize it. I found this really cute fabric from Dollar Tree. It has two different sides, silver and gold, and I love the leaves on there. I definitely think it's fall inspired. So what I'm using is Mod Podge, which is a transparent glue, and I'm just using the Mod Podge to go over the pumpkin, and then I'm going to lay the fabric on top of it. So what I realized is that it was almost impossible to lay down all of the fabric with the Mod Podge. It seemed to work, but the ends kept coming unraveled, so I did use push pins. And for the stem, I decided to go with the ribbon that I also got from Dollar Tree, and it worked out perfect because it covered up that hole that was at the top. Dollar Tree had these really nice pearl stickers and they had multiple colors. I thought that this was perfect because it came in a line and it would go right down the ridges of the pumpkin. And I will do 2 different kinds of pumpkins with these pearls, as you'll see. So for this next pumpkin, I'm using more Mod Podge, which I love because it dries on clear, and some confetti that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm using 2 different colors and I'm just mixing them up. It's best to do little small sections at a time so that way your glue doesn't dry. I love the way that this came out. It's so girly, however it's very messy, so make sure you give it enough time to dry. So for this next pumpkin, I'm using some jute twine that I got from Dollar Tree. I love the fridges on this twine. It looks so natural and rustic. So I'm just wrapping it around the complete pumpkin, and I'm not afraid to like let some white show through the twine because I feel like it looks a little more natural. So after I was done using the twine, I grabbed my white yarn that I also got from Dollar Tree, and I just made some lines so that way it looked more like a pumpkin, and I thought it came out really nice. Alright guys, so for the next 2 pumpkins, I'm just using some old sweaters that I wasn't wearing anymore, and if you have any old clothes, you can use this as well. And I'm just cutting the sleeves off, and I'm going to wrap that around the pumpkin. So now that the pumpkin is covered, I'm going to wrap the rest of the sweater around so that way it makes a stem for the pumpkin, and I'm just going to tack it down with some tack so that way it stays in place, and I think that this looks so nice. For this next one, I cut off a sleeve to another sweater, and what I'm going to do different is I'm going to wrap this around 2 times around the pumpkin, and then I'm going to put the top into a ponytail. Now that we have a small ponytail, I'm going to take some rope that I got from Dollar Tree as well and wrap it around so that way I can make a stem. Oh my god, I think this came out so nice. I think for sure this is my favorite. Alright guys, so this is the last pumpkin and I'm just using an old flannel shirt, and I thought that this would look perfect for fall. I'm just wrapping it around the pumpkin and tacking it down with the tacks at the end. When I'm done with that, I'm using my jute twine again, and I'm going to make lines on the pumpkin so that way it looks more like a pumpkin and not just like a ball. And then I'm going to use that same twine for my stem as well, and I thought this was so pretty. Oh my god, this is definitely giving me farmhouse vibes and I'm so in love. I had so much fun doing this, and I will talk to you guys later.